This video is brought to you by Caterpillar Cross Stitch Needle Minders and Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Patterns and Picture This Plus Fabric. I have a type, yo. Hi everyone, welcome to the Diary of a Hyperactive Crafter. My name is Melissa and I am really excited to come to you today from a new location and also with a WIP Parade. I didn't think when I put up my first video that I was going to be doing a WIP Parade so soon. I didn't think that I would have the motivation or want to spend the time on it. Guess what? Today is the day. It is almost June 1st. It is actually May 23rd. So in my book, that's close enough to June to go ahead and do a mid-year WIP Parade. And since I'm so new to Flosstube world, I figured there's no better time like the present, especially because recently, within the past 6 months or so, my cross stitch stash has like exploded. It was already like gradually increasing, but it has exploded over the last 6 months. And so I am trying to attempt to do some craft room organization so that I can move some of the stuff that I have downstairs up here and just make it more functional for both my crafty spot downstairs and my storage spot up here. So I'm coming to you from my loft today. This is my loft slash office. If you are old viewers of the old Honeybee Knits podcast, this should be very familiar to you. This is where I recorded, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of hours of podcasting content, I guess. And since then, this room has become multifunctional. So, there for a while, like this was so insanely packed with stuff. I just didn't feel comfortable coming up here to do anything, much less craft or film. But since then I have cleaned it up. I cleaned it up about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. I've started working at my desk up here, which has been really great for my productivity at work. And it doesn't stress me out to actually be up here anymore. So the lighting up here is a lot better, although it is like almost 6:30. So I know by the time I get through all this, I'm gonna lose light. And honestly, I just need to jump in because I have so much to show. I counted right before I started recording and I have 35 cross stitching whips. Part of those, I would say about half of those are from May Mania 2 years ago. Levi, WTF Knitting, and I participated in May Mania where we started a new project every 2 days throughout the month of May. I have yet to finish a single one of those projects. And in fact, most of them only have like 200 stitches in them. So you'll get to see all of those today. Fair warning, there's a ton of Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I did not realize how many of those patterns I started until I started preparing for this today. And yes, if this is your first episode, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like seeing what I have to work on and what I plan to work on. If you've watched my other 2 episodes, you know, I'm not a note taker. I don't put notes in the comments or in the down box below. I normally just tell you guys, if you want to know about something, message me, comment down below and I'll answer you. And that's been working out really well for me so far. I haven't had a whole lot of questions, but if you guys ever have any questions about anything that I'm making, anything that I talk about, feel free to throw them in the comments because I'm happy to answer those. It's just I record on my phone. So, and by the time I'm done editing, the last thing I want to do is like type out notes. But anyway, guess what? I made notes, guys. I actually wrote down notes for you about some of these projects, which is just go me. I got off work about 30 minutes early today, so I sat down and I went through all of my whips, and this is what I've come up with. All right, so before I jump right in, I do want to let you know that I also have, I'm a multi-crafter, so I have knitting, crochet, and English paper piecing whips to show you as well. And I say that loosely because there's not a lot of progress on any of them, but I figured since I'm doing a WIP Parade, I would go ahead and show those to you. But I'm going to do the cross stitching content first because this is labeled Flosstube. I want to make sure that I put some focus on that first. I do have sewing stuff, but I'm not going to show any of that today, just because I have stuff that's like, it's not sewn together. I have some sewing FOs and I have a knitting FO, but I'm going to save that for my regular Flosstube, which is going to probably, hopefully be recorded next week. See how I feel after recording this. So there's going to be a lot of bag crinkling and wrinkling. Most of my stuff is just in these little Amazon bags. I should also mention pretty much most of the information I'm going to have for these projects is probably going to be like the pattern name and the designer, and what materials I'm working with. As far as like floss goes, I probably won't really know most of the fabric, and I apologize for that, but I didn't used to keep track of it at all. I never had an intention of filming Flosstube. So the first project we have is 12 Days of Stitching Ornaments by Erica May Designs. This was a May Mania start, and I did 2. I feel like something might be missing here. I might not have finished this ornament. It might be unfinished. We'll see. I'm going to put up pictures, hopefully, screenshots of like the cover photos of these, so we'll be able to tell from that. But anyway, I stitched 2 ornaments. Again, May Mania, every 2 days I was making a new start, so basically I got 2 days to work on this. And I was very new when I started this, so I just used like a regular pen, and I marked out evenly across all the fabric, the squares, and then the center, because my plan is to cut these out and make them into something, probably ornaments, probably. So anyway, so there's that, and I don't know if you can tell, but I really wish it was going to be all natural lighting because I love the way stuff looks in natural lighting, but we got to use the overhead lights today. Anyway, I don't know, sparkle. If you used to watch my Honeybee Knits podcast, you know, I am a sparkle girl. The more, the better. So anyway, so there's those. It was a kit. So I'm using DMC. I believe the fabric was part of the kit, and then they sent like this little wooden hoop, which I don't use, and then a needle as well. Next up is Frogwarts by Black Needle Society. I have years 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think my year 1 is digital, I think. Either that or I've lost it and I have to find that. But anyway, I have years 1 through 4. Hopefully I will be able to get 5, 6, and 7. However, the way these are released is like you have to sign up for the club for the whole box, and then like a year or so after the box is released, she opens up the pattern to everybody else. I have some classic Colorworks floss and some Gentle Arts floss that I purchased because I am attempting to use the called for flosses. And then I think this was in one of the boxes. This is some of the floss that was in one of the boxes that I actually purchased. And it's called it's Color and Cotton. You know, I didn't even know I had Color and Cotton floss. I hear everybody talking about it, and now I know why, because it is very nice. It's like silky. So anyway, I should get to the point, because this is what I have started, right? I mean, I got like a fair bit of year 1. I mean, it's like not a huge ton, but anyway, this is what I have. However, I had like an existential crisis. No, I overthought this so much when I decided to make it, because in my head, I really wanted all 7 years, because they're like bands, right? So they're like, go from like here to here, right? And then they have 7 like rectangles. But I really wanted them all on the same piece of fabric. The piece of fabric at the time was like sold out, and it was really expensive to get a piece of fabric that big. So I didn't do it. And then this fabric came, and it was like very greeny, and I wanted it to be more like, what is it called? You know, like the old parchment, like parchment-y. So anyway, I started it with my friend Agatha, and I just really wasn't happy with it. So it's kind of gone to the wayside. And then for my birthday, not this past year, but the year before, a bunch of my friends gave me 1, 2, 3 Stitch gift cards. And what I did with some of that money was buy a yard of that fabric. So this is called Parchment by Fiber on a Whim, 36 count Edinburgh linen. And so I bought a yard of it. So the plan, the plan before was to do 4 and 3. So I was going to do 4 of the rectangles on one and then 3 on the other. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, I really, really, really want it all on one piece. So that's what I'm going to do. I haven't decided the layout yet, but I have a whole yard of this fabric, which I spent way too much money on. But if you're going to make something, make it the way that you want it to be. So that is what we're doing. And I'm going to have leftovers. But I just got the full yard because I know that it'll fit on the full yard. And I guess I could have probably got like crazy, like small count fabric, but I didn't. And this one I am glad I did that because this has like the green modeling in it, which I love the green modeling on the parchment. However, the piece that I had before, if you'll remember, there wasn't a whole lot of modeling and it was super green. So on this one, I have the green in there, but I also have those lighter tones of parchment, which I'm really happy with. So that's going to be a restart, but I'm still considering it a WIP because I had started it at one point. My next one, and I'm just literally moving up my list backwards. My next one's Pokemon. So I showed this a couple of episodes ago. I can unroll it a little bit. I'm not going to take the rods off, but I think like you can kind of get the gist. I think I showed this in my first episode because it's probably the WIP that I'm like proudest of. If this was like one of my Frosted Pumpkin patterns, I would have like 4 of those done, but I don't. I have this done. So this is the All Generations Epic Pokemon Cross Stitch by Lord. It's on Lord Leviton. I spell it for you, message me and I will do that. But here we are. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see all the detail in this. I am having a hard time seeing what you guys can see. But it's massive. I don't even know how wide it is because I can't remember. I think it's like 4 feet? Almost 4 feet, maybe like 3.8 feet. I don't know. And then it's going to be like really tall. I have 131,357 stitches in this. I am 16.46% complete. And the total pattern has 798,000 stitches. So at the time, this was the biggest pattern I had ever seen. And I was like, yes, sign me up. I think I mentioned in my last video, I really like doing things that not that many people are going to do. I like a good challenge. Christmas Celebration Sampler. This was, most of these are on my WIP Go board. Some of these I've already hit because I've got some of these, 4 of them I've already worked on because I did finish my first 4 WIP Go. So this is Christmas Celebration Sampler by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I just have a bit of the border done. The needle minder is Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I love their needle minders. This is 1,015 stitches, 12.65% done. It's very small. It's not that big. This is the halfway point across. So it's a smaller stitch. I don't know how many total stitches are in here because I didn't put that. And this is on Picture This Plus Gingerbread. And it is 32 count linen. 2/2. And this is, I am using specialty floss for this. I'm using the called for. But I think it's like, I think this might be weeks. But I really like it. It's hard to tell on the camera. It's white, but it's got like some pink and green, very tonal. I don't know, you can kind of sort of see it, not really, but probably on a bigger screen because all I can see is what's in my face right here. So that is, hey, we're done with the first page. Well, we're done with the first page, which is only half a page. Next project, see, they're not all going to be Frosted Pumpkin. We're going to get to a section where they're all Frosted Pumpkin, but this one, I love Even Weave. Can I tell you? So this one is, okay, so story time. My friend Agatha made Pandemic, and she shit ton, a lot of stitches in it, and got to the end and realized somehow, I don't know if she miscalculated, I don't know what happened, but somehow she didn't have enough fabric going across and she had to restart it. So now I'm terrified. So I can never cut my fabric until it's done. So this is the Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. I love stitching on this. I like stitching on these style of patterns. I like stitching on even weave. I love it. So anyway, Modern Folk Embroidery, Fruits of Plenty. I have 1,520 stitches in this. I'm 3.21% done. There are a total of 47,397 stitches in this total pattern. And I am using DMC. And the two colors I picked are purple. Imagine that. So we have 550 and 553. Who would have not guessed it? Next one is the Mysterious Halloween Town. I don't know why I have a problem with patterns that have the name Mysterious in them, but I really want to call it something else. I have this saved in Pattern Keeper as Halloween Town. And so it took me a minute to find how many stitches I have in it because it's actually called the Mysterious Halloween Town. So apparently I have a problem with the word mysterious and didn't know it. Here we go. So this was a WIP crawl that was already called for this year. The Mysterious Halloween Town by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I have 2,403 stitches done, and I am 34.84% done with it. And it's really pretty, and it's on sparkly fabric. This is, I want to say this is also gingerbread. It's Picture This Plus Linen. I don't know the colorway name. Next is Pandemic. Pandemic is by Long Dog Samplers. Here it is. Oh, beautiful scroll frame, not skull frame. I have 11,910 stitches done on this out of 77,265, and I am 15.41% complete. 15.41% complete. I am stitching this with a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of friends, and a couple of us have already finished. I am not one of the couple of us. I'm using DMC, and I'm using 3804. Pink and purple are my favorite colors. One is probably one of my favorite projects, and I never touch it ever. But this is Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. And I have a restart on this. So this is what I had done. I had gotten this far. I was doing 2/1 25 count. Okay. And it's gorgeous. It's got that thick tapestry feeling. I love it. I was doing the max color version, but I was not doing supersize. Keep that in mind. I was not doing supersize max color like Suki the Brown Eyed Stitcher. I was doing just some max color and 25 count 2/1. And I spent so much time on this, and I kept looking at Suki's, and I was like, man, she's doing 2/1 10 stitch, and you can't really tell. Like, it looks good. It looks good. And I was kind of like a 10 stitch snob because, like I said, I like the coverage. I don't like it to look washed out because you can see the fabric behind it. Hers didn't. And I think she was doing it on 25 count. So I'm like, let me try something. Let me just try out a few different fabrics. Hi, Prince. He's just gonna... Anyway, I was like, let me just try out a few different kinds of fabrics, count-wise. 2/1, 10 stitch, 2/1 full cross, and see what I like. So what I landed on, I think, because I can't for sure remember, to be honest, is I believe I landed on 36 count, 2/1 10 stitch, okay? And I restarted it. And that's where I'm at. Not very far. The other thing I should mention is that I also switched to Supersize Max Color because I was like, I really, really wanted the details of the Supersize Max Color. That was really what my conundrum was, because there are some details when you get down into the bottom of the shelves that you do not get on the Max Color regular version, whatever that is, which is still big, by the way. And I think it was like the wording on the book. Like there's a book in the corner that has like some wording on it and you couldn't even see what it was. But on this one, you can. And because I'm doing it on 36 count, 10th stitch, you can't freaking tell that this is not full cross. Like, look. See? Isn't it perfect? It's just as like thick and tapestry like this back, guys. This back is a hot mess, but it's fine. It's just as like tapestry like as my Pokemon, which is 25 count 2/1, but it's half the work, right? So this is Treasure Hunt Bookshelf by Amy Stewart, charted by Haid. I have 4,113 stitches in this, 0.5%, 0.57% complete. There's 722,277 stitches. Also, the details of the flowers on the Max Color versus not. Let's hold them side by side, shall we? Because look. Look at that. And that's what was really bugging me. Look at the detail on this flower. This is 10th stitch. This is full cross. Look at it. It's so much better over here. Supersize Max Color is the way to go. Like, if you don't want a piece that big, figure out how to make it smaller by changing your stitch type and count. And my cat like really wants me. So yeah, I am absolutely thrilled with this restart, even though, I mean, that was a lot of work. I mean, I think I had 4,000 stitches in this, which is a lot. Oh no, because this is 4,000 stitches. So this is 4,000 stitches. I had like almost 10,000, I think, in this when I was like, peace out, Girl Scout, I'm done. But I am so much happier. And looking at this, I need to pull this out. I need a full coverage. Like, try not to make plans, not making goals, but I feel like at least once a week or something, it would have to be, or just a couple times a month, I need to pull out my full coverage projects and put some stitches in them because they deserve some loving. And then this I will use for maybe one of my smaller, I just recently bought some patterns. By the way, I think I'm going to do a kit parade, a finished objects parade, and a pattern parade at some point. Because I want to show you guys all the things. Anyway, I'm just going to reuse this fabric for another maybe smaller pattern that I will do 25 count 2/1 next. Another full coverage. This is a small one. This is called, it's smallish and not very far along either, but this is called Pink Geo, and it's by Counting the Stars on Etsy. And I'm super far. Like, I've got so much done on this. I am very impressed with myself. I got so much done, I can't even figure out which way is up. Okay, there we go. And I made, like, I was like in confetti hell, and I was like, I am not carrying this thread. Or I am not cutting this thread. And that's what I did instead, which is probably a huge mistake. I'm not going to do that if I pick this back up, but I'm probably going to leave what I have. I'm going to try to leave what I have. If it bothers me too much, I might just start it over, because I have 510 stitches in this out of 30,000, and I am 1.7% complete. And I had started picking a color and finishing out the thread. But recently I really like the parking method where, like, I pick whatever empty spot, I finish whatever's in that area and then park it and then pick up another color. Anyway, there's so many parking videos online and I'm so new to it that I can't properly explain it. These are all still in order so far, and I'm super impressed with myself because I thought for sure they would be out of order by now. This was a WIP Go call that I already had for the year, which is really sad because this fabric, I love this fabric. I think this is very similar. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you. By the way, the last fabric was just some generic Ada that I had. I don't even know what count it was. I can't tell you what this fabric is. I think it's very similar to what, I think it's either similar or the same as what I'm using, which, by the way, I don't know. This is equates to 16 count. So I think this is 32 count. Same with my triangles and same with this. I think, or not triangles, I'm sorry. Same with my Fruits of Plenty. This and this. I think that I started them all very close to each other. I was like in that mood. And I think I used the same fabric, and this fabric, I need to figure out what it is because it's a Lugana. I know that because it's an even weave. It's, but it's so soft and it's so fun and buttery to work on, and I absolutely love it. So this is Cirque de Triangles by Ink Circles. It's showing up very blue on my side. I don't know if it's showing up right for you, but this is purple. Like, it's purple. And I'm actually using Dye Silks for You. Dye for You Silks or something. Anyway, I don't know the number. I know she goes by numbers. I don't know what it is. It says deep purple, and they send it in a hank. So it's not going to take me the full hank. So I will be passing that on. And I have all the Cirque de whatever collection. So I have the, like they have circles and diamonds and I think hearts. I have all of them. And I got a different color of the silk flosses for each one. So this is just Cirque de Triangles. I started this one first because I really wanted to work on, I think the circle one is my favorite. And I really wanted to work on that. And I was like, if I do that, I'm never going to do the triangle one. And I fell in love with the triangles. They're so pretty. Anyway, Ink Circles, Silks for You. I have 4,757 stitches done out of 18,730. So I'm 25% of the way through. You know, if I would stop starting things and I would work on one thing at a time, I would have so many finishes. It's fine. It's what we do. We enjoy the process. We work on what we want when we want, and we buy all the things. It's part of being a crafter. Next is A Very Merry Christmas Town by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, using called for floss, called for fabric. I don't know what the name of the fabric is, but it's sparkly, and I do know it's Picture This Plus. This one is a linen, so I'm assuming it's probably 30, what is that? Probably 32 count, I would think. Yeah, probably 32 count. Anyway, there we go. This is A Very Merry Christmas Town. I have 1,549 stitches out of 8,456, and I'm 18.32% complete. This one, oh, you guys. So who was yelling at the screen? You're holding it up the wrong way. I can't. Okay. Anyway, this is what I have done. That is the front. This was a WIP Go Call already that I was working on. And A Very Merry Christmas Town, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, 1,549 stitches out of 8,456, 18.32% complete. Sparkly Picture This Plus fabric. I don't know the color name. This might be the one I just bought to do my Nightingale on. Actually, it probably is. This is linen. Caterpillar cross stitch, needle minder. I know I'm probably forgetting to tell you all about all the needle minders, but it's okay. All right, Sweet as Pie, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Here it is. I got a lot of work done on this for 2 days. So 1,104 stitches out of 9,978, 11.06% complete. Don't know. Picture This Plus, linen, probably a 32 count, maybe? 32 count, probably. Black Hat Society. This one is, I had two finishes, a goal for 2 finishes this year. One, I'll show you in a minute, in a little bit. And this was one is a WIP Go that just recently got called, so I didn't even finish that. And I started this in the middle of this fabric, and I'm so mad at myself for it. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Black Hat Society. This is the other finish that I put on my goals for the year. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, go figure. And it is 506 stitches out of 3,946 and 12.82%. This one is a smaller one. And it's on Picture This Plus Ada, 14 count Ada. and I put it right smack dab in the middle of this ginormous, beautiful fat quarter. Love the fabric. And I put that little small thing right in the middle. It's okay. I can probably cut it off about here and then have like just two little, you know, pieces for smalls. I don't make small things. I don't know. I'm really mad. Just buy another piece of it. The funny thing is that I didn't even know until I just pulled this project out to show you guys that that's what happened with that, because I was so inexperienced, like up until like, you know, yesterday, that I didn't even think to look at it. Okay, this one I am so excited about. So this one is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Cozy Cafe. This one, it caught my eye a few times. Like there was a few people that had made this, but it wasn't until I watched Evelyn from across the pond finish hers that I was like, I have got to make that. So I don't have any information on how much I stitched on this, because when I started this, I was individually uploading my cross stitch patterns into Knit Companion and finagling Knit Companion to make it work for cross stitch. Figure that one out. It took me 5 hours every time I did it. So this one I do not have in Pattern Keeper, but I will next time I pick it up. And it's so cute. I almost have the cider done. I am skipping over the beads. This has beads. It's my first beaded project that I had ever started. And it has 4 different kinds of beads. Yay. Well, there's some John James needles in here I bought that I forgot about. I know it's Picture This Plus because I can tell. I think it's slate, because this is not what it called for. I think that they had theirs on like a brown color fabric, and she made hers like a little chalkboard menu. And I did also substitute. She substituted her white for everything's DMC, except everything's called for, except I substituted my white for chalk, which I think is Gentle Arts chalk. I think. I'm not 100% sure. My stitches are really, really messy. However, when I hold it up and look at it from far away, I'm like, oh, that's good. That's gorgeous. So this just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how messy your stitches are. It doesn't matter how messy they are or how good they look up close, because from far away, it's going to look the same for the most part. That's my theory anyway. Okay, welcome to Pumpkinville. Another Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery pattern. I feel like this video should be sponsored by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Look, I know what it is because I got a sticker on here that was not intentional. However, this one, Welcome to Pumpkinville is massive. It is 28,151 stitches for a Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery pattern. That's huge. Welcome to Pumpkinville. Yeah, don't know what to say about this one. I have 813 stitches done. 28,000 stitches is the total that this will have. 2.89%. Can't tell if that's a 2 or a 1. Somebody do the math. It's either a 2 or a 1. I'm either 1.89% or 2.89%. This fabric, I can tell you, is Crystal Oaken Cashel Linen by Surprise Surprise Picture This Plus. So if you don't know, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery must have like stock in Picture This Plus, because in Weeks Dye Works, because all of their patterns use Picture This Plus DMC and Weeks. So anyway, there it is. Very cute. I'm excited. I'm not as excited for this one. It's not that I'm not excited for it. Like, I want it. No, I want to work on it and I want to finish it. When I started it, listen, I know there are people out there, especially some of my friends, that are yelling at me, just scrap it, just scrap it. Listen, I don't do that. If I start something, I want to finish it. There have been like a handful of times in my life where I have not finished something that I've started. Okay. Okay, I say that. None of these have been finished, right? Like, but they are planned to be finished. Okay, moving on. This is Midnight Way by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and ooh, look at that start. Oh yeah. Beautiful fabric. Beautiful, perfect purple fabric. Picture This Plus linen, probably 32 count. Don't know the colorway name. stitch marker I got on Etsy, no clue where, but it's very strong and it's very big. I started this on Halloween like 3 years ago. I don't even think I've been stitching for 3 years. This was like my first start on my own, I think. I started this shortly after Levi, within like 10 days of him teaching me cross stitch. I had this ordered and started it. So there's that. Yep, there she is. My little witchy witch. I don't have the information for this one either because I also started this in Knit Companion. I'm not misspeaking. If you're a knitter, I started it in Knit Companion. Okay. Don't even ask me how to do it. There are videos online, but just go get yourself a tablet and use Pattern Keeper. Okay, 12 Days of Christmas, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, 509 stitches completed. And this is another one where it's got like a cutesy fun little border. And it's small. That's the entire width. And it's a square, so that'll be the entire height. It's a square, so that will be the entire width. This one has a sticker as well, and it is Crystal Ale Cashel linen. So it's got some sparkle in there, and it is Picture This Plus, and it is Frosted Pumpkin. And I just lost 500 followers because they are tired of seeing Frosted Pumpkin. Listen, if you like Frosted Pumpkin, this is the place for you. Not really. If you like Hot Mess Express, this is the place for you. Frosted Pumpkin. Broken record. What I should have done is broke like all these up, but I didn't. So this one is Christmas on Gingerbread Lane. And this again is on Crystal Ale Cashel, 28 count. I misspoke. I bet all of those linen projects I showed are 28 count. Picture This Plus. This one's, I love the colors in this one. This is, I want to say we did use some Gentle Arts maybe. There's a lot of variegation, and I was really surprised at how much I really love this when I was working on it. I remember 2 years ago, I didn't want to stop this. So this one is 238 stitches in there. I must have only got like one night on it. Because May is a very busy month, so I don't know what I was thinking, but I did. So the next one is actually not Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Don't worry, they'll be back. We'll have more. This one is Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It is called How Does Your Garden Grow? And it was a sow. And this is what I got done. It was a sow during the time of Mania that year. So, and I had actually been gardening. I was gardening. So I was like, yes, please. That's how far I got. This one has 384 stitches in it. And I have a fall pumpkin needle minder on there. And I think I have two of those same needle minders because I couldn't find this one. And I wanted it for a fall project. So I bought another one. This is that fabric again. I think this is that even weave fabric that I was telling you that I adore. Also, this project is not this big. Oh, here we go. I can tell you what it is. No. I need to eat my words. Okay. Do you remember? I'm pretty sure that on one of my videos, one of my first two, that I made a comment about Zweigart and Witchels and that I didn't like them. This is Witchels and I freaking love it. Because I have it on like 4 projects and every time I touch it, I'm like, ew, it's so buttery soft. Okay. I am wrong. I was wrong. 32 counts. White. Jobelin. It's a Jobelin even weave. Which else? Listen. Well, aren't we edumacated today? I still don't know how I feel about Zweigart. I thought I hated it, but maybe I like it. I don't know anymore. I don't even know. I don't know. I love it. Okay, next. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Told you it wouldn't be long before they're back. There goes my basket. Tipped over. It's getting a little top heavy. Okay. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery sucked me in with their cute little patterns. Okay, once upon a time, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, 609 stitches done. out of 20,866, 2.92%. Called for fabric, called for DMC. Picture This Plus Ada, 14 count. No clue what the colorway is, but I'm pretty sure I probably already showed a project on this colorway because that's as I do. This is another big one. Yeah, because you know, okay, so please don't not watch my later videos because you think I'm just gonna stitch on Frosted Pumpkin. I promise you, I have a good variety of projects, either started or planned. Okay, next one. I just showed this one, and actually from here on out, all of these I've shown in previous videos, so I'm gonna go through them rather quickly because these ones I've pulled out for one reason or another on the first 2 episodes. So, but I'm just gonna pop them up here because this is the WIP Parade after all, and they are WIPs. Okay, this is Judge Not Plum Street Sampler. I have 504 stitches done. This is on Zweigart. Ha, I do not like Zweigart. Okay, this is Zweigart, 36 count, white Edinburgh linen, and I got little sheepies. My fabric just came in the mail to make a bag for this. Yeah, remember my last video, if you watched, if not, go watch. And I was like, I've got a list of fabrics that I want to make bags. Okay, so this is what I already had. This is turning into sewing talk. This is what I had already. This is what I just bought. I bought my whole list. I was like, I'm gonna get like a few every couple weeks. I bought the whole thing. Happily Ever After Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm so sorry. I don't even know, right here. 265 stitches, 1.78%. Positivity Rules, rainbow stitch marker. Ada, Picture This Plus, no sticker. Really pretty, like purplish color. It's showing kind of blue on my end, but it's purple. Very, very beautiful. Forget Me Not, charted by Haid, full coverage. So much to show you guys. Artwork by Rachel Anderson. 811 stitches out of 46,464, 1.75% done. And again, you'll have seen the pictures on the side because I am going to take the time to do that for you guys. Because most of these, you won't even know what they look like because I've got like 500 stitches done, which is fine. It's fine. Story time sampler. Didn't I already have a story time? No, I had Once Upon a Time. This is Story Time by Frosted Pumpkin. Okay. This is 261 stitches, 1.77%. This is linen. Picture This Plus. Don't know the colorway name. Very pretty. I just showed these in my last video, but all of these I have. And this is like, I mean, guys, this is worth showing again 100% because I can't. They're my favorite. Like, come on. I need to pull these out and work on them. It's gonna happen in October. No, September 21st. September 21st. You heard it here first. Let's do a stitch along. September 21st. Oh, yeah, we got time because it's like June, right? Yeah. So September 21st, get your stuff ready. We are doing Autumn Quaker, Rosewood Manor. And we'll see if we can get another page or 2 done this year. And then to follow that, December 21st, we are going to work on, I don't know which way this is. I think it's this way. Winter Quaker. Okay? Deal? Rosewood Manor, Winter Quaker, Autumn Quaker, September 21st, December 21st. We're going to pull these out and work on them. And maybe, you know, a year from now, we can continue that into spring. And maybe we will start the other 2 in spring and summer. And my goal can be 1 to 2 pages, which I think is doable. Next is Tudor Allegory by Haid. Charted by Haid, artwork by Luca DeHere. I have exactly 2,000 stitches completed. 49% complete. This is full cross, 1/1 on 36 count. So throwing you guys for a loop. I got a 2/1 25 count. I've got full cross. I've got a 2/1 36 count 10 stitch. And now I have a 1/1 36 count full cross. So I do a little bit of everything around here. But look at this. I know that you guys don't know what that is, but they're rafters. And I know if you could have seen the way that this progressed, I don't know why I love this so much. I do. Okay, I bought these little parking bobbins off of Etsy. They have them on Amazon too. They're the biggest freaking waste of money. Do not purchase them. I don't know who's making them, but I feel like it's the same person on Amazon and on Etsy. I can't find them anywhere else. I paid like $30 for 4 of them, and I was like, it's fine, because it's essentially 4 needle minders, right? And it's a cool concept, and I can't find them anywhere else, okay? Yeah, they've all fallen apart. I have one, like they used some sort of like really weak ass rubber glue to like glue a magnet into this thing. I don't even know what this thing is. And then they just stuck this top thing, just stuck on a plastic piece with tape. Like it's tape, like it's not worth it. 2 of them had been broken. I picked this up today. The 3rd one broke. This one is on its last leg. So just don't, caution. Anyway, but look, you can start to see like the little candelabra maybe, because I don't think they had electricity back then, but it's like a light. I don't know. I need to work on this so I can show you more of it. My next project is Eclipse by T-High Designs on Etsy. I started this on the eclipse day. Like, look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous how long these are. I am using 2/1 full cross. This is Be Stitch Me fabric called We Can't Elope, and it is 20 count Aida. I'm a fan. And I have 202 stitches done, so 1.05%. Hey, you know, a stitch is a stitch is a stitch. So that is in my mushy bag, one of my mushy bags. Next, in my temperature project bag made by moi, we have my temperature cross stitch. This is called Square Dance on Etsy, and I have finished 3,205 stitches. I'm 32.31% done with the year, which means I'm somewhere back in like, I think the end of March. So I think I have like some April stitching in here. So you can kind of sort of tell. I'm working this on a diagonal, so I go on the diagonal. So like I'm going up right now, and then when I get to the top, I'll work my way back down, and I just keep going up and down. So Ohio is hormonal. So you never know what you're gonna get, which is why you see all the different color variations. But you are starting to see, we're moving into spring. It did not take us long. Like, we did not have a whole lot of double greens, right? So we had like, it was like super nice during the day and like freezing cold at night. And then all of a sudden we went to like, it's hot as Hades during the day and cold at night. So, well, now it's hot all the time, but we're having record heat temperatures. Picture this plus petals, Aida, 18 count petals, Aida by Picture This Plus. And it's pinky. You can't see this downstairs, so I'm actually glad I'm filming up here because you guys can see the pink and the green modeling. You can't see that down in my downstairs. My downstairs is so dark. Anyway, penguin needle minder. Look how cute. Isn't she adorable? I got that on 1, 2, 3 stitch, by the way, the needle minder and the fabric, probably the DMC. So anyway, not caught up on this, but that's okay. I don't tend to stay caught up on it. Just kind of, I use AccuWeather to track the temperatures. Yeah, I love this bag. I love it. This is my Therapy Tuesday project. I had therapy on Tuesday. I did not work on it this week, so this actually looks the same as it did in my last video. But again, the colors up here are just so much better to see than downstairs. So this is, you can never cross the ocean without having courage to lose sight of the shore, if I remember from memory, on 18 count Ada, just probably Zweigart. We know it's not Wet Jolt. DMC, Lunar Latte. If I got that right, I'll be impressed, but it'll be over here. Yeah. Oh, I have 1,844 stitches in this. I am 20.62% done. So again, this one is not like a huge pattern at all. And it's a lot of block stitching. So if I ever get, like, if I can just consistently work on it once a week, then it shouldn't take me long at all. We are moving into the crazy, I mean, we've already been in there, but like crazy stitch alongs, right? Like, why did I do this? I don't know, but it's okay because we like it. So we have my little stitches from Creatively Crafting. She puts out these small patterns once a month. I have the first 3 in there. The third one's not completed. I had it by Floss. I have it now. I need to put it in. And this is Fiber on a Whim, 36 count Edinburgh linen. Still don't know how to say this. I'm pretty sure it's Celestine or Celestine. I don't know. Like, can you guys see that? I have no idea. No clue. But it's a pretty blue. It's got some hues of purple in there. 36 count again. Fiber on a Whim. Again, Fiber on a Whim, I've said this before, not my favorite. I'll stitch with it. It's not the worst, just not my favorite. And it is 36 count Edinburgh Kunzite. So the last one was more blue, this one's more purple, but they very much, and the purple's not showing up for me, I don't know if it is for you, but they very much mirror each other. And this is my butterfly stitch along, yearly stitch along from Creatively Crafting. And I talked about the back stitching when I showed this in my first video. Not a fan of the back stitching. It's just very tedious. There's a lot of back stitching, and it's not like, it's like serious back stitching. And so I decided I'm not doing the back stitching this year, which is why the you know, names of the months aren't finished. But anyway, it's fine. I'll get to it eventually. Pretty little needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Okay. Be a Cupcake Sal, Creatively Crafting. I'm not very creatively picking my projects. There we go. Oh, there goes my Caterpillar Cross Stitch needle minder. Anyway, I love this. I love the details on it. I think it's adorable. I feel like he needs something in his eyes. He looks a little creepy, but also he's supposed to be a leprechaun, so I think that is the point. And he's eating the coin, like he's biting the coin. He's making sure it's real gold, as leprechauns do. I am behind on this, but it's fine. I need to stop saying I'm behind on stuff because, like, I really don't care. Like, if I get behind, I get behind. I'll pick this up and work on it when I feel like it. For Pride Sal. This one I am caught up on because I really am thoroughly enjoying it. This is by D's 20 Stitches. And I have all the months done for this month. This is probably super boring for those that just watched my video last week. Just showed all this a week ago, but it's okay. If you're new here, you'll enjoy it. Determination is the fabric color name. Mislaid Pages is the fabric designer. And this is 20 count Ada, which I am a huge fan of. Which maybe you guys don't mind seeing these projects again so soon because the lighting up here is better. Even with my artificial lighting and the sun going down, I think in general you can see the lighting better. This is in a Mimi bag. Yep, I did this. We're almost done. We got 2 more of these, and then I have other stuff to show you. All right, this is the Mysterious, there's that word again. I love this bag. I have 2 of them for myself. The Mysterious Femurs and Fungi Sal. Have not worked on this. This is one I do want to keep up with. And it'll probably take me like 1 day to get this caught up. So I'm not too worried about it. But, yeah, I didn't work on it this week. Honestly, we'll get into it, but like I have done like very little. Last night was the first night I stitched since I recorded last Thursday. Today is Thursday. So 1 day and 7 days is just not enough. But I did knit and I finished a knitting object. So, I mean, there's that. Anyway, we'll save that for the next episode. Here we go. Mysterious Femurs and Fungi Sal by Fine Frog Stitching. This is Evil Queen fabric by Stitch Me on 32 count linen. You guys, I'm getting so good. Are you impressed? I'm impressed. Okay, DMC. And I have 2,817 stitches in this. So quite a few stitches, I think, compared to some of my other projects. And also, I didn't work on most of these projects for like a year. So like I've had them as WIPs for a long time, but last year I barely touched anything else besides Pokemon, which is why it has 131,000 stitches, and all my other projects has 5. Okay, the last WIP is the one that I made progress on this past week. So it is, surprise, surprise, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. However, we are in current events because this is their SAL that they have going on right now. It's called Arctic. And there we go. So when I showed this last week, I had this guy done and I had this done, and I think I had like his ear started, so maybe not. But so I finished, I worked on him. You can't tell, but there's like some gray stitches there. You'll be able to see it better when I do the back stitch. I made this little guy, and then I did some blue stitching down here. So I actually worked on this last night, and I put in over 500 stitches while watching Flosstube. And I have completed 1,088 stitches on this so far, and I have 465 stitches in this clue left, plus back stitch. So I'm very close to having this clue done. So whenever I pick up stitching next, I'm really hoping that it's tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, probably not tonight. By the time I get tacos and I plan on knitting a little bit tonight, I'm probably going to be exhausted. Arctic Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. The fabric is 14 count Aida, picture this plus, and it's Nocturne, and I love it. So, and this is DMC, called for. Okay, so I think we made it through the cross stitch. So we're going to move on to some other crafts. I have some English paper piecing. I have 2 WIPs, and then I have some knitting. I found 3 more WIPs, so I have 4 knitting WIPs. Can you believe, if you used to watch the Honeybee Knits podcast, at one point in time I had like upwards of 45 WIPs at a time. I have finished everything, so I have 4 knitting WIPs in my entire house. 5. I take that back. I have 5 because I just remembered the other one. 5 knitting WIPs. And then I have, 4. I do have 4 knitting WIPs because I have 2 crochet knitting WIPs. Crochet WIPs. So we have a total of 6, I wrote that page, 6 yarny WIPs and 2 hand sewing WIPs. Okay, English paper piecing. I told the story before. I met up with some friends to go to Chicago and do like a crafty thing. And one of my friends, Ingrid, is an English paper piecer. She's an everythinger, kind of like me. And she was doing a lesson. My husband and I were out and about for the day and showed up, walked in. My friends were doing this like paper piecing, and I had heard about it. On our Zooms, they had talked about it, and she was teaching them, and they were like, do you want to try? And I was like, no, I really shouldn't. She's like, go ahead, give it a try. And I think I said octagon before. They're definitely called hexie, so obviously it's a hexagon. But anyway, sewed up one side, not a whole one. Not like everybody else is like working on their 4th or 5th like hexie. I sewed up one side and then immediately started searching for patterns. So I did buy a starter kit. So like that's, you know, fun, but also at the same time I bought a different kit. So let me show you my starter kit. Okay, I got this off of Amazon, and I wanted to practice on this, and I am not great. It's okay. Don't love my stitches. Wanted to practice on this, so what I decided to do, I bought the starter kit. It came with like little squares of 2-inch squares of fabric. I glue basted them onto the little paper hexies. If you don't know what English paper piecing is, it's essentially that. So you glue based or based little pieces of fabric around shapes, and then you hand sew them together. And then when you get enough, you take out the little paper pieces from the middle, and then you make it into like a quilt or a project or whatever. So I wanted to try a starter kit before I show you the next kit, just to like get the hang of it, because again, sewed one corner. Anyway, so I finished one. Oh, my plan was to make coasters out of these as gifts. So I did finish paper piecing one of them, okay? And it's not too bad. I like it. I feel like I need to like work on my stitching a little bit, like, but it's okay because I'm new. It's fine. I started a second one, okay? And here's what happened with this one. All right, we went to, I think it was actually Memorial Day, which is funny because that's Memorial Day weekend, this weekend. Anyway, so we went to a Memorial Day cookout at one of my husband's friends' place, and it was the first year I got to go. They do it every year, and it was the first year I got to go because I normally had to stay home with our dog because she was sick. And so I was like, oh, I'll take this and I can just like sit there and work, because like knitting I wasn't really into because I've been cross stitching I don't really do when I travel. So I promise I'm getting to a point. So I take it with me, and one of my husband's friends is there, and he has 3 daughters, and he was like, oh, my daughters are like really interested in what you're doing. And I was like, oh, cool. And they were kind of looking, and I was kind of doing it. He's like, can you tell them what you're doing? And I was like, sure. So I'm like, I think what he was doing was trying to get me to, because his wife had a migraine and wasn't there. I think he was trying to get me to distract his kids so he could like go hang out with his friends, but whatever. It's fine. So they're looking over my shoulder, and then he goes, can they try it? And I was like, sure. So then they try it, and they did a good job, right? They did a good job, but it's like not what, didn't look the way I wanted it to. So I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, I'll just rip out what they do, which is not bad. I'm a bad person. So then I had a whole family thing. So my 7-year-old and 8-year-old nephew were here a lot. And then my 16-year-old, 19-year-old, my 16-year-old nephew and my 19-year-old niece were living with us. So their 2 younger brothers were here like a lot. And one of my nephews was like, I was working on this, and he was sitting on the floor, and he was 7 at the time, he's 8 now. And he was like, I wish I knew how to sew. I wish somebody would teach me how to sew. I'm like, Hayden, do you want me to teach you how to sew? He was like, really? I'm like, yes. So he came up and I taught him. So this is like, this is what they did. So they have like little kid stitches all around. And I know the right thing is to leave it alone, like finish it as is and just have it as like a little memento. I can't do that. So I'm going to rip it apart and restart it. But because I have to rip it apart, I haven't touched it since. Am I a bad person? Am I a bad person? Probably. It's probably bad. So remember I told you I like jump in with like my whole body, not even 2 feet, like the whole freaking body goes in, like middle of the ocean, which by the way I did do recently. Whole other story. Anyway, middle of the ocean, I'm jumping in with my whole freaking body, like no life jacket, like let's do it. Okay. So in Chicago, I bought the starter kit on Amazon while I'm sitting at the table and all my friends are doing their little paper piecing. I go back to my knitting, and then my husband and I are like, okay, we're tired, we're going to bed, and we go lay in bed. My husband gets in the shower and I lay on the bed, and guess what I do? I purchase, not the pattern, the whole freaking kit. So this is Alchemy by Tula Pink, and let me tell you, this pattern has 3,540 hexes. Okay? If you don't know anything about paper piecing, let me tell you, that's a lot of hexes. That's the equivalent of probably like I'm going to say that's the equivalent of maybe like a Pokemon cross stitch. Maybe not as much, but close. Okay. And it has, I counted earlier, I think 70. It has 70 different colors of fabric. Okay. 70. Okay. So I have to cut out. So like, for example, the first color, you need 29 hexagons in this yellow color. I don't know, where is it at? I did it. I cut out 29. And then I put it in some little bag. I don't know why. I have all these little bags. I think I bought them on Temu before I stopped purchasing of Temu. And so I thought each color needs my bag. Anyway, I'm converting this to a different system. Don't you worry. Like, I got it planned out. But anyway, okay. So 29 of these I had to cut out. All right. So this is what I've cut out so far. I've cut out this, which is like polka dotted, and this, which is like orange polka dotted. Okay, and this was a feat, okay, because I was using a template and a rotary cutter, and me and rotary cutters, we don't jive, okay? And so then I had a fussy cut because I didn't know what fussy cutting is, but basically it's like making sure you line up the template, like the shape you want to make, with a specific piece of the pattern. So there's, I don't know if you see that little tiny dot in the middle of that flower is fussy cutted. So what that means that I had a fussy cut and make sure that, like, I couldn't just, like, you know, cut the hexes on any piece of the fabric. Like, I had to make sure that dot was in the center of the hexie. So that was fun. And that's when I went and I bought an AccuQuilter that I just took out of the box like 3 weeks ago when I bought it, like way back. Like, it's been almost a year since I purchased it, because I gave up. I was like, I don't want to cut these anymore, so I'm not going to. I'll get back to it eventually. Anyway, so I have this is gonna be like a full size, like, huge quilt, okay? All the little paper hexes, and, you know, a bulk set of glue because I'm gonna need it. And then, so here's just some, like, this is actually not even from this, from my original bags, like some fabric scraps. But here's the fabric, guys. Tula Pink is, like, I have Alice in Wonderland fabric from them over there. It's like, look, come on. So this, I bought this kit. So I have to cut all of this fabric into itty bitty hexes. So all my friends are doing so good. They're all doing a blanket along together, making English paper pieced beautiful works of art, and I'm over here sitting on all this gorgeous fabric, not doing any of it. But here's what I thought. Okay, so right now I'm in bag mode. Like, I'm making all the bags for all the things, right? So once I, like, get burnt out on this or finish the bags, which I keep adding fabric, so that'll never happen. But my plan is, because what I have been doing is when I'm in meetings and I'm making the bags, because I grid out my quilting lines on my bags because I can't sew a straight line. And so I've been doing that while I'm on my meetings or ironing it off. So I think I was talking to Ingrid, who is, like, you know, the mastermind behind all of this. And I was telling her, I was like, you know, I would almost rather, like, trace with a fabric pen, the hexie, and then cut it out with, like, extra scissors than, like, trying to fight with this hexie, this roller, what is it, rotary cutter. And she was like, yeah, you absolutely, like, I do that. And I was like, okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut strips of fabric and use my AccuQuilter for the ones that don't need, because I just got the little one, the Go Me, and I just got the one die for the English paper piecing hexes. I'm going to cut out all the ones that don't need fussy cutting, which there's quite a few. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 of the pieces of fabric need to be fussy cut out of 70. So I think everything else I should be able to do on my AccuQuilter. So before I do that, I need to A, get burnout on my bags, and then B, I need to figure out a better organization system for these, and then I will be off to the races with the cutting. The sewing together, on the other hand, might be a whole different ball game. So my first knitting whip that I have, I almost didn't call this a knitting whip because honestly, like, it's ridiculous that it's not done. So when I stopped dyeing yarn, I used to dye yarn. I used to go to festivals and sell it on Etsy and, like, do all the things, and I really enjoyed it, but it just got to the point where it got to be too much. I was working full time. Part of that was I knew when I stopped dyeing, I was like, I need to create a memento of this time in my life because it was such a huge part of my life. So I made sure to either dye up or keep a mini skein of every colorway that I've ever made. And I turned it into a blanket, kind of. It will be a blanket, okay? So I did finish knitting this last year at least. So this is the stained glass blanket. I do not remember who it's by. That information I did not write down. So I'm just going to show you all the squares, and I just bordered it with undyed yarn. So these are all the colorways that I dyed when I was a yarn dyer in a previous life. I mean, I am not trying to be egotistical, but when I look at these, I have a sense of pride and accomplishment that I don't get very often because I'm very hard on myself. So I want to cry because this does bring back some like really good memories and emotions of just most of the people that I'm in contact now that are my friends, like, were the ones who supported my shop from the very beginning, and supported me in every sense of the word. So anyway, just really fond memories of all of this. I promise that I'm almost done. I have 2 more. And then this one. So I just need to sew these together, right? I don't think that I'm going to mattress stitch them. That was the original plan. I have never had success with mattress stitching. I can't get the tensioning right. I always mess it up, and I don't want to mess this up. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try to do some version of like a 3-needle bind off, sort of, or like you pick up the stitch and then I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to try to make up my own way of seaming this together. I also thought about like crocheting, because my thought is like I-cord kind of, right? Like I thought about like crocheting the edge, like putting them back to back and just crocheting the edges together and just going down the line. I don't know if that will work, but I think that would be the fastest and easiest way, and I think I need to make it a priority. So I think a priority as in like after I finish my other 2 blankets, because I did finish one. If you watch my other episodes, I finished the one I was working on. I think that after I finish those, I need to work on this and get it done because it just needs them together. Okay, so my next knitting WIP, I did the Leading Men Fiber Arts Yarn of the Month Club. I don't remember what it's called, and honestly, I did look on their website before I started recording, and I couldn't find it, so I don't know if they still do it, but it was like an A to Z club where every month they send you 5 skeins of yarn, 5 minis of yarn, and they send you 5 minis of yarn, and they start at like their numerical ones, because I think they have like a couple numerical ones, and they go all the way to Z. And I did it. It took, I think, 3.5 years to get every single colorway from that club, but I did it. And so I've been working on putting them all into this blanket. So this is the Coziest Memory by Kim Parade. It's the second Coziest Memory blanket I did. The first one I did with all scraps, and my husband stole it, and it's my most favorite blanket. So I am very happy to have been making this one, and I'm pretty well through the minis. I think I have like I think I'm within the last year. I think. Maybe I'm not. I think I have 12 months left, which 5 times 12, I don't know how much that is. I should. Anyway, so what I do is I do 10 colorways at a time. So I'll do 10 squares. So I'll pick, and I have been trying to go in alphabetical order, but some of them got a little off, so I'm not really too worried about it. But anyway, so I do 10 squares. So I'll do 5. So this is like 1 month of squares, and then I'll do month 2 of squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I repeat it on that same row. So then I go across again with them. So each row is 20 squares across, 10 different colors. And I don't know how many squares I have done, but when I'm done, I will calculate that for you. But yeah, I really, really love this. And so this will be a priority. I don't think I'll have this done by the end of the year, because I feel like the big blankets that I'm working on right now, I can do like a skein a day. So they're only taking me like a month to do, if that. But this, like 2 squares, 1 square takes me between 30 and 45 minutes, depending on how fast I'm knitting and how focused I am. I think I have 46 stitches, so I do like 23 and 23. This is a good color, by the way. So anyway, this one, I don't think I'll have it done by the end of the year, but I think I at least will be back to working on it before the end of the year. I was working on it the end of last year. So I feel like that's kind of like a mood stitching thing. So doing that, so using each one of the squares takes me like 3 or 4 grams, not very much, and each mini is 20 grams. So I have a lot of leftovers. So what I've been doing is throwing them in scrappy blankets. So one of the scrappy blankets, I held the yarn together, the leftover yarn together with Knit Picks Stroll, and it's on my couch downstairs and I use it almost every day, but it's very pilly. So this one, I just held whatever I had left double. So I normally have like 10 to 12 grams left and I hold it double. And this is the Habitation Throw by Helen Stewart. And I've just been throwing it in here. And as you can see, like the stripes get thinner and thinner. And I think I'm decreasing now. I think. Let me see. It's been a while since I worked on this. So I might still be increasing. Honestly, don't see a decrease or an increase. So let's see. Maybe I am still increasing because I don't see any decreases, and I think the increases are the yarn overs, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm still increasing. Oh, no, I'm decreasing for sure. Look. Ha! I got a corner. So I am decreasing. So anyway, it's just really pretty, fun. I love it. And this is really making me want to pull it out and work on it. Okay. Last knitting WIP. So I did show this one before. I talked about it and I didn't have all the information. This time I have the information. So I remember I said I made some hats for my sister-in-law and I made her this hat that I need to just, this is not the WIP, by the way. I'm considering this a finished object, but it's just a ribbed hat. This is called the Lucy hat, which is L-O-S-Y. It stands for Leftover Sash Yarn Hat by Fabric Works on Ravelry. And it's out of Malabrigo Machida, and I used Valentina and Ivory held together to make this colorway, or to make this hat. So I've got one finished. It's just a ribbed hat. And I've got this one started. And I have that. So might work on this when I'm editing this video, because let me tell you, working on that big ass heavy blanket, even though I'm starting a new one, so it'll be smaller, is going to, it's not easy to do and edit at the same time. Trust me, I did it twice. Okay, that's it for my knitting WIPs, crocheting, and I have 2 crocheting WIPs and we're done. Okay, so my friend Kimmy, she's a master crocheter, like I'm not exaggerating, like that's really, she has like a certification. She's a master crocheter. I am terrible at crochet. Like, I'm not terrible at it. I'm good at it once I get into it, but for some reason my brain, probably because I don't do it enough, it doesn't remember anything. So like, she taught me how to make this blanket virtually, right? So this, I had like some magic cakes I had made out of a bunch of different like yarns, and she helped me learn how to crochet it. I love this. I have totes of yarn that I want to make magic cakes out of to keep working on this. I don't prioritize that. I don't have the time. I have my days filled with all the other stuff. So definitely something I would like to do next year is get back into that. These were massive. Like, this was so many leftovers, guys. So many. I can't even tell you how many leftovers are in this. I had 4 or 5 magic cakes that were like this big, and this ate it up because I held them double and it's crochet. And so what I really need to do is, because I need space on my shelves and I got buckets full of scraps in there, I really need to just do this, right? Because also my dad, he's been hinting for 2 years that he wants, I made him a blanket one time and he's like, oh, you know, I really love that blanket and I've been using it more. He's like, but I'm just so afraid that I'm going to like mess it up. And it's just, you know, Angie and the kids love it. My stepmom and the kids love it. And it just would really be nice if we had more. So they want more blankets in their house and I can provide more blankets. I just need to like actually do them. Okay. Other thing. Last thing, I have a impulsivity issue, in case you can't tell, and I also am a collector of things. Like, I have to have everything. Like, I have FOMO, so I'm like, I gotta I've got to have everything. Okay. So Felici was like super exclusive when it came out, and they had like super exclusive colorways where it's like they released like 6 to 10 colorways once or twice a year. Well, then it became more often. Then they started repeating colorways, but Melissa had to have them all. And not only did she have to have them all, she had to have 2 skeins of everything. So every time they released new colorways, I was buying 2 skeins of it and never knitting it up. If you don't know, Knit Picks Felici is like a sock yarn, and it's like self-striping. It's super soft. So one day my friend and I were talking, and I was like, you know, I think that yarn would look really cool in a granny square blanket. My friend Kimmy. And she was like, I think so. So what I did, she had given me some yarn. I was going to make my nephew and husband some hats and stuff, and never got around to it. So I was like, hey, I don't have very much like heavyweight yarn, and I don't have very many boy colors. Like most of my stash is like pink and purple. So she gave me some of that yarn. I was like, I'm going to send you some of this Felici I have, and we're going to do granny square blankets. So I sent her like a box of Felici, and I sent her half of what I have, and I still have like 3 of these full of Felici because it's ridiculous. But anyway, so she taught me how to make a granny square, and we're making granny square blankets. However, we were supposed to make 1 a day, and I think we started like, I don't know, January 1st probably. And I have gone through one skein. I've done 1 skein. So that's 3. She probably has a whole blanket worth. That's 4. I can't tell you anything about anything on what I did on these because I don't know anything about crochet. And Kimmy, whenever I pick these up, we're going to have another crochet lesson because I completely forget everything. I don't even remember what hook size I used for this, which might be a problem. I haven't been counting these. So, and I literally have just been like, I haven't been planning the colors, just like start and stop wherever it starts and stops. And I think I might go back around, which is why I really haven't tied these off. Well, that one's tied off. They're all tied off, actually. I lied. But I can undo them easily. I might do a border on them, or I might not. I might just patch them all together. I don't really know. We see how that goes with the whole like sewing blanket together thing, right? It's gonna be great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've done 10 days out of like 6 months. So I think I am gonna pull this out. I mean, I'll pull them out and work on them. Maybe I'll just set a skein next to my couch, and next time I'm on with her, have her refresh my memory, and then go from there. But yeah, it'll be pretty if I ever work on it. So WIP Parade, massive WIP Parade. Honestly, I stayed pretty well on track, and I think we have 2 hours. So this might just have to be like a part A or a part B, or might just have to be a 2-hour video. I don't know. There were a few tangents, but I did better, I think. I hope. Anyway, I have to clean up now. It is 8:17. So I'm going to clean up. I'm going to go get some tacos, and then I probably will knit tonight. I'm going to start a new blanket and watch something. I don't know if I'm in the mood for YouTube tonight, so I might watch, I don't know, might watch Dr. Now, because I'm a little bit obsessed. Or I could watch Gilmore Girls, or I don't know what I'm going to watch. Jason's at game night again. He's been going every Thursday. So it was something that he really hadn't had the chance to do when the kids were living with us. And so ever since, I've been very much encouraging him, like kicking him out the door, like go hang out with your friends so that I can have Thursday nights to myself to do this. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the WIP Parade. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I've got 2 other videos that are up. I am just having a blast and all the fun. So next week or the week after, I'm hoping to record like a normal video. It depends on how much actual crafting time I get, because again, didn't get a whole lot this past week. I'll do another life update in that video. And then I do want to do a kit parade, which will probably be just as long as this, if not longer, because I got a lot of stuff. I would like to do a finish parade, which will probably be like 15 minutes long because I finished nothing. And I would also like to do a pattern parade because I have recently purchased some patterns, and I have a big stash of patterns that I would like to share. However, and they're all mostly digital patterns. I will say that I need to organize those like in digital folders before I go and do that, because I don't know how I'm going to do that. That'll be down the line. So anyway, I have some ideas for some fun fun special videos that I'm going to do out throughout the next 6 months. Anyway, I hope you enjoy, and thank you for joining me, and have a great week. Bye. It's me, I'm Mario. I feel like I need to move some stuff around because my shelves look like shit. Let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. That's a little better. I think we just need to start because it's going to take me all day. Just go. 6:16. What day is today? Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to the Diary of a Hyperactive. I noticed in my last 2 videos, I've been going back and forth between saying hyperactive knitter and hyperactive crafter. Welcome to the Diary of a Hyperactive crafter. I almost did it again. Jesus. I just realized I forgot to close all the bedroom doors, so my cats are gonna be going in and out, but it's fine, whatever. Okay. No rambling, because my last Flosstube was 2 hours and 10 minutes long, and I had to cut out like 40 minutes of stuff. So we're gonna try. So I always tell myself this, just stay on track. Also, I'm up high, so there's no like, my neighbors can't watch their favorite show today, and that's, what a shame. But anyway, I'll give them the link and they can go on YouTube and watch it. Okay, I am feeling better, which is good. 12 days of ornaments. This has some cotton candy. This has some class, you know, Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa, not Leviosa. Anyway, I have to cut that out because I know I said it wrong. Anyway, Lord Labian's. I don't think that's his name. I like to be different in a way that's like, I like to be the same because I have FOMO. So if you're doing it, I want to do it too. But I also like to do the things that you don't want to do. If that makes sense. Not at all. I'm a walking contradiction. Who knows? Maybe I will get this filmed before it gets dark. Let's see. This is a hot mess in the background, and I know that this is probably bothering some people because nothing's organized, everything's leaning. That over there is even worse. So, when I move you, don't judge. I need to figure my shit out. Prince, you're not allowed in those rooms, and I'm not getting up to close the door. Prince. It's fine. Anyway, turn my brightness up. It looks better. Yeah, it looks a little better than what I was seeing on my camera. It was looking hot, messy, expressy. Oh, I was watching Severance. Remember that whole like nostalgia thing I was talking about in my last episode? Like I remember what I was watching when I was working on some of these. And on this one, why is my neighbor growing corn? We live in Ohio. Corn is like 25 cents for like a whole freaking bag. And we live in this, like we're right on top of it. Why would you grow corn? Anyway. No, I bought a microphone so that I could record in my morning room without it echoing. And then I moved everything up here. Ooh. I forgot, I need a snacky snack. And I got these, but if it satisfies that craving, I'll take it. The wind right out of my sails. Okay, update on the cookies. Tastes good in the moment. You get that farmy taste afterwards, so warning. My mouth tastes like a sheep. Need to get moving because I need to go get some tacos for dinner. Okay, don't ignore this. This is like my catch-all chair. Like, just ignore it. Pretend like this is the beautiful crafty aesthetic. So which else good? So I got, okay. I hope I didn't offend anybody. Watch, they're gonna be like, we want to sponsor your video. And then they watch this and they're like, never mind. Anyway, I don't do sponsorships. I will never do sponsorships, by the way. I don't know why I even said that. Okay. My neck is really starting to bother me and I want tacos. It's going a lot faster than I thought it would though, so let's eat more of our farm cookie. This is why you see Ohio's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. I think a line has just been drawn. My bad. I hope I didn't start anything. I probably did. I need to learn to close my big mouth. Which at this point, I'm adding so many new starts that I'm really enjoying, or I'm going to be really enjoying, that I may never get back to these this year or next year or 5 years from now. And that is okay, because right now I'm okay with that. You know, next year you ask me, I might be stressed out and trying to finish all the things. This year, I'm good.